Hi, my name is Yvonne Wan. Welcome to my class. Today we will be exploring human emotions through comic art. Today we will draw this frustrated girl. People too often misunderstand being mad with being frustrated, and these two emotions are different. Anger is a natural response to situations in which we feel offended or have encountered wrongdoing and is usually triggered by external factors, for example, injustice, humiliation, or illnesses, etc. Frustration, on the other hand, is dissatisfaction with specific situations. When a person fails to fulfill his or her desires up to her expected levels, she or he often feels frustrated. It is a mix of feeling hopeless, encouraged, sad, and disappointed. For example, if a teacher tries to teach someone a new concept and the student doesn't get it after a few attempts, a usual emotional response will be the student feeling frustrated. Anger is different from frustration. Frustration is a slow, steady response, but anger is quick and aggressive. Frustration is a quiet emotion that builds inside and does not show to the outside. At the same time, anger is a more explosive emotion that cannot be expressed verbally or physically. The art supplies that you need today include paper, pencil, eraser, marker, and colouring pencils. First, I'd like you to draw a circle for the head like this, and then draw two lines for symmetry like this. Next, I'd like you to draw an eye, a centimetre from the centre line like this, and then draw the iris and pupil like this. Next, I'd like you to draw the eyeliner, and then the eyelashes, and then the eyebrow like this. Next, I'd like you to repeat this on the other side of the face. The eyebrow should touch the eye. Next, I would like you to draw the nose, all scrunched up, like this, and then some frown marks in between the eyebrows. Next, I would like you to draw the mouth, like this. I'd like you to draw the teeth with squiggly lines like this instead of defining it individually. Next, I would like you to draw more lines on the face like this, near the eyes, near the nose, near the cheeks, near the chin. Next, I'd like you to draw the ear like this, and the face shape like this, and then the hair like this. Don't forget the neck, and the top, and the shoulders. Next, I'd like you to draw her hand like this. It's very tense. And you can continue to correct it as you draw it. Don't forget to draw the nails on the side like this. Finally, I'd like you to sign your name and put the year as well. Next, I'd like you to ink your artwork using a thin marker and thick marker too. Don't forget to apply thick and thin lines wherever you think it looks good. Please remember to use an eraser to erase the pencil lines after you have lined your art with marker. We are now going to learn about colouring. So I would like to introduce you to the use of colouring blenders when it comes to colouring your art. If you apply the blender to your colours, you will notice that the whites will start to vanish and the colours will become more smooth and solid. If you apply the blender on several colours, the colours will blend nicely, creating a gradation of colours and create new tones in the process. Blenders can make your art appear more smooth and realistic. And now I'm going to introduce you to the use of burnishers when it comes to colouring your art. A burnisher keeps your whites white. You can apply it as an undercoat or an overcoat. As an undercoat, you can use it to create brick lines, for example, and then colour in the bricks without needing to colour around it. If you want to create a shiny effect, you can choose to use the burnisher as an overcoat. So there are different effects you can achieve by the way you handle your pencil. So if you apply light pressure, the colours will come out lighter. If you apply medium pressure, it will appear a little bit darker. If you apply a lot of pressure, then it will be extremely dark and more solid. If you have trouble applying light pressure to your pencil, you can handle the pencil from the top. You will notice the colours will be a lot lighter as a result of the way you're holding the pencil. The directions of your strokes is important, so I highly recommend that you use one direction when you are shading. If you apply your strokes in different directions, you will notice that the colours will be inconsistent as a texture. Another stroke you might want to consider is applying cross-hatching, and that involves colouring in one direction for the first layer, and then the second layer you do the opposite direction, and that way you would be able to cover the full area very thoroughly and have a more solid appearance in pigmentation. Another texture you might want to consider is circular motions. This provides a different texture and can be very useful depending on what texture you prefer. Another technique you might want to try is layering. You can choose two different colours and put them on top of each other, creating new colour tones. So I'd like to teach you how to do highlights. First of all, you need to have a light source so you can determine which part of the drawing should have a brighter side and which side should have a darker side. And you can have the highlight using white, or you can use a burnisher. And here I'm just using grey to depict shadow. So now that I've taught you some basics when it comes to colouring techniques, I would like you to apply everything that you've learned to the drawing. So just to summarise, the directions of the strokes matter, the pressure that you apply matters, the amount of layers that you apply also matters, and it's also important that you factor in highlights and shadows using whites and darker colours and the burnisher too. And always use a blender if you have that available to you, because it's always going to make your art pop. This concludes today's class. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.